Hello and welcome, my friends. I haven't done any videos in quite some time, and I forgot how much fun it is to put these bombastic intros and outros on these things. Anyway, um, I wanted to talk about a fairly serious topic today. I wanted to talk about fear. And the reason why I wanted to address this is, and it'll be in four parts, is because I think it is the number one cause of any of the trouble, of any of the struggles, of any of the suffering in the whole entire world. And I wanted to address some things because this is nothing that anybody can do anything about except you. You can only address your fears on an individual basis. And I think if you maybe some of this will illuminate you to some of the things that you're not even aware of that you're afraid of. Um, for example, I haven't done any videos for a long time, partially because I feel like, anything I have to say is already out there in some form or another. But then that kind of discounts, my voice, and I might as well have it out there as well. And I should have no fear of that. So I'm going to do it anyway, and I may have to edit if I go on too long. But let me just break this into four different sections. And let's start with, we're not talking about the kind of fear that is imminent, where your life is in danger, or something happens where somebody's pointing a gun at you, or whatever it is. That kind of fear is natural and it's helpful because you want to survive, right? So those kind of fears, they're built into you. And I see nothing wrong with that. I think that's a survival mechanism. We need to have it, fight or flight, right? I'm talking about, and let's start with the fear of self. The idea within all of us to some extent that we don't measure up. We start comparing ourselves to others and start comparing our bank accounts to others and start comparing what we've accomplished or not accomplished, what jobs we have. And this is all based on our own fear that we're not measuring up. Let me put this in perspective. Every individual on the planet is equal. Okay? We are all part of like a divine light and a divine plan. So you are a focal point, just like everybody else. Whether you do anything or don't do anything, accomplish anything or not, makes no difference. You're still the focal point. Your experiences matter. You have a unique perspective because you are that one little focal point. Now there's millions of them, but it doesn't make you any less or more important. It doesn't make anybody else less or more important. So remember, when you're talking to anybody or dealing with anybody in any situation, consider yourself on equal ground. Don't think that you're less than them, or they're smarter than you, or they have a talent in this area, you have a talent in this. It doesn't make any difference. We're all on equal footing. So if we stop thinking about ourselves in terms of how we compare, that's a big one right there. Okay. The second piece of this is fear of outcome. I'm talking about like fears that have to do with what runs in your mind, anxieties, and things that you're afraid of that haven't even happened. This is where maybe something comes up and you start running it through your mind. Well, this could go wrong. This could go wrong. This could happen. And it starts building this anxiety and this fear of what? Nothing. It doesn't even exist. These things that you compile in your mind, they don't even exist. So you're afraid of a ghost, really. And this also comes with things that you think in the past, things that you regret or things that you have done that you start getting anxious over. They're done. They're over. They don't exist right now. What's right now, right in front of you? If you are living in fear of anything in the future or the past, then you're not in the very moment that you're in right now. And let's face it, that's all that you have is right this moment right now. So instead of being afraid of things that might happen, one of the smartest things I think that we've ever come up with was this idea that of a self-fulfilling prophecy, because there is some truth to that. If you're focused on negative things that happen, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, that's what you're drawing. That's the universal power you're drawing to yourself. If you're focused on just possible good outcomes, then you're drawing that. You're open to that. And this brings me to another fear. This is part three, And that's fear of abundance. I mean, fear of, there not being enough. And I've got to get my share. And of course, this creates selfishness and crime and all kind of bad things, because you don't understand that the universe is bountiful, and you don't understand that it is only in your mind that you think you need to hoard and you need to hang on to things. We're all going to have to let go of everything eventually. There are people that make billions and billions of dollars, and they still have this fear that they don't have enough because they're still continuing to make billions and billions of dollars. That's a dead end road. There's no happiness at the end of that. If there was, it might have been at the $1 billion level, but oh, no, not there. Let's try the $2 billion. Not there. Well, eventually you come to see that anything that you're trying to acquire from the outside world is a short term happiness. Um, I got a new car this year. I was really happy about it for about 2 weeks, and now it's just the car I drive. So, I mean, if you're looking for long-term happiness, you're not going to find it in things, and you have to recognize that this world is plenty abundant. And it's only the fact that we don't believe that it is that keeps us from sharing the things that we could share, and feeding the people who need food, and clothing the people who need clothes, and housing. This is all because we believe, oh, well, there's a limited amount, and I've got to work this many hours a week to get my share of this limited amount. This is the wrong way to look at things. The truth is, if we were more open to the idea that this is all available to us, um, you know, I can't tell you how many times that I've donated something, and maybe even a little more than I felt comfortable donating, but I'm still here. I didn't lose anything. Nothing happened bad. I mean, we're all like, oh, I'll go broke if I do anything nice for anybody. Anyway, the bottom line is, um, this is a huge world, and it's a huge universe, and there's a lot of resources for us. We need to be mindful and take care of this planet, not because the planet won't survive. What'll happen is we won't survive, because there's plenty of resources, but if we waste them, and we don't utilize them, and we don't take care of the resources that we have, yeah, it could be very short term for us as a people. And then 100 years later, the planet will be back to normal. So I'm just saying that this is a fear that causes a lot of trouble. And let me go into the last one, which is primarily what causes wars and hostilities, and some of the big issues that we as individuals have trouble coping with and responding to, and that's fear of others. If we don't recognize that we're on an equal plane with everybody, not just in our little sector, our little country, everybody in the world, you know, if we don't recognize that we're equal to them, and they're no better or worse than us, then we're going to be afraid of them. Okay? We don't understand the culture, so we're afraid of it. We don't understand these people, so we're afraid of them. We don't understand, a tradition or a religion, so we're afraid of them. You know, Honestly, if everybody's afraid of everybody else, what do we have? We're living in a society where nobody wants to be even simply kind to one another because they're afraid. No one, you open a door for somebody, they don't want to say thank you because they'll have to interact with you. So what? We're all supposed to just interact on the internet, or on your, texting on your cell phone. I mean, what's happened to just day to day conversations? I mean, you go to a coffee shop and they're real friendly to you, but that's a transaction. That's not a relationship. Saying hi to somebody is not a capital crime, and nor should you be afraid of somebody saying hi to you. I mean, we've got so locked up in this. Everybody's got some evil agenda, and there's very few people on the earth that are walking around with an evil agenda. Okay? So here again, unwarranted fears that are causing nothing but paranoia and just more trouble in our society and in you as a person. If you walk around with all these bundles of fear, I mean, how are you going to live a normal life? How are you going to live a happy life? So I just want to bring these up so if any of them strike a chord with you, maybe you take some time and look into, okay, where is this in me? Because honestly, none of us are immune. We all have fears. It may be in different areas than I've talked about, but we all have them. So taking time to really look at that, explore that, and see, okay, what is it holding me back from being a decent human being in one sense or another? You know, it's up to us. We have to do it as individuals. Nobody can do this for you. Okay. And the last fear is, that you could possibly get rid of is your fear of death. The people who have in this lifetime um, rid themselves of the fear of death are people who have had, there are some people who have died for short periods of time, and their experiences taught them that this was not a horrible experience. This was not a horrible thing, and here it is. It's fear of the unknown. That's what it is. But if you conquer that fear, all these other fears would dissipate. But that's a challenge. That's a big one. But anyway, I just wanted to address these things. I hope that some of them are useful for you. I might have to go back and edit some of this because I don't know who wants to listen to like 20 minutes of or whatever it is of fear-based talk. But thanks for listening. And if some of this helps, great. Let me know if there's any fears that you think I should have covered or any thoughts that you have in comments. I don't even know I'm going to post this yet, but just throwing it out there. Thanks again for watching. Get ready for a bombastic ending.